Hi, welcome to the Drunk Linux User. I'm Len, I am the Drunk Linux User. And today I'm going to bring a lot of kind of scary, futuristic kind of news. And we're going to start with, you may be able to start using Google Assistant without saying, "Hey, Google." I don't want my phone, which is de-Googlified, or anybody else's phone to start picking up. And they have some quick phrases that you'll be able to use without having to actually say, "Hey." And they're also working with something called guacamole, which will give you shortcuts. This is causing a little bit of a question among people who are concerned about privacy and the ability for your phone to listen in on what you're saying, even if you're not trying to talk to your phone. I think this is not a good step forward. I think that the more we have control over technology, the better. Which kind of leads me to this next one, which is Elon Musk and his humanoid robot. Now they're using the AI that they have in their Teslas, and this is called the Tesla bot. And when he went to present it, he didn't have one available, so he dressed somebody up in a suit and had them move around like a robot. Now, Elon says that he wants people to have a choice as to whether they should work or not, to be able to do heavy lifting or not. And by introducing these robots, people will have more freedom. Well, I think it's good for humans to be able to do some work. I think that sometimes there are people who are just more geared for the physical than they are the mental. I'm kind of lucky I can do both. But when he is presenting something like this, the potential is to allow people to become lazy and dependent on machinery, which means that our potential health is going to go down the tubes, more or less. And I'm sorry, this just doesn't make any sense to me. He's talking about artificial intelligence, and he's worried about artificial intelligence. So even if he says that his robots are supposed to be more slow and we can and won't be as powerful as we are, I have to beg to differ. His might not, but anybody who reverse engineers his equipment, or if somebody sells the technology to, say some type of military defense contractor who wants to really do, incredible things, these can be dangerous. And I'm sitting here thinking, if he's worried about AI and he wants to build a robot, did he not watch this movie, I, Robot? Did he not know the potential pitfalls of such a society? He doesn't make any sense, especially when he's talking about doing things like creating neural links, things that you put in your head that you use to control other things. Well, he says that this is the human's way to be able to counteract evil AI. Evil AI will develop if there is a group of people who will make evil AI. And I don't think a human is going to be able to counteract that possibly as readily as an actual AI would. So this doesn't make any sense to me, but there are some potential good cases for this. Some are to be able to allow people who could not walk before the ability to walk by stimulating areas of the brain that have been disconnected from the body. So there are some very, very good possible uses for something like this. But let's take that argument about the robots in tow as well. And don't you know that signals can be interfered with? And we have many, 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 many more cell towers now that can be used to cause a disruption in maybe a good signal to possibly even recode and give a bad signal. Even if that signal isn't to tell you, go fight, the oligarchy or something like that, maybe it could be used to cause considerable pain. And if your population is writhing in pain, you can walk right over that population. So I think this is a really, really bad idea. And he doesn't make it sound like there's much of a choice. We either have to go with the evil AI, okay, of Terminator type Skynet life, or the potential of possibly becoming the Borg. I, for one, do not want to be hooked up to a neural network that could possibly be linked to anybody else. I don't want to hear anybody else's thoughts, and I don't want anybody else's thoughts trying to tell me what to do either. I think that this is a bad idea. Okay? I have a question for Elon. For as smart as you are, did you really have such a bad life as a child or as a young adult that you hate humanity so much that you have to change them to what you consider to be your perfect idea of a human? Don't you know that the beauty of humanity is being human in the first place? With all of our faults, with all of our good and bad, and with all of the warts that society can bring. We are not perfect, but we're human. Let's stay that way. All right? So that's my rant for the day. And I don't expect to do too many of these. I hope not. But if I see technology going in a bad way, I will bring it up. What does this have to do with Linux? It's technology. What do you think some of the programming is going to be? Just because the code is light and free and easy and open source? Probably Linux. Well, enough of the bad stuff. Why don't we continue on with our normal lives? And don't drive drunk. Don't drink and drive. Don't go on eBay, Amazon, or any place else all buzzed up thinking you're going to buy the greatest, coolest stuff. You probably won't. Bottoms up. Later, dudes. Hazelnut today.